Okay, hmm. Start with Florendo. He's actually decent matchup versus Anomalous, but he started with his Jennifer. So let me see here. I think I'll just go for Clamp. Get it on cooldown quickly. It's big damage, but he's going to go for a big heal here. Just fine. I'll go for Primal Cry. Try to cleave Anomalous a little bit on the back line. And then I think he has Tentacle Stab, so got a good matchup here while he's rooted. This would be a good combo if it was like an actual good dot instead of Tentacle Stab that just ability does nothing, especially to mechanicals. Alright, he can swap if he wants. I'll just kill him with Primal Cry on the back line. Do I go for Primal Cry first or Clamp first? I think Primal Cry. Probably survive here. Ah, I forgot about Foreboding Curse. It buffed the damage I took. No worries. We can bring in our Piglet. He is below his magic ratio, so I could just kill him here. I could go for a heal. I'll just send the Arcane Dash. Get it on cooldown. And kill him if he stays in. Do I go for the heal or do I go for the damage? I'm gonna go for the damage first. Maybe I can heal with Beast Racial. Not quite, but I do have Rabies, so it'll be a bigger heal now. Since I do 25% extra damage. Okay, stay in. I think I'll just bring in the Jade Mist Dancer. It's weak damage versus Anomalous, but I'm faster, which I think is more important. Is it worth going for the heal, I wonder? Yeah, kind of. Because if I land one crit, he's just going to die to the other attack. No crit, but we got a high roll. By far the scariest pet on his team is Anomalous. He likes to swap a lot, so I'm debating either playing something with like maybe a team with Dibbler, since he has that beast pet, or maybe just a minefield user. Could play the Kunchong Hatchling. Play Snapdragon. I'll play the Kunchong Hatchling. He's fun. None of these teams are fantastic versus Anomalous, but I can at least trade Dibbler for Anomalous by rooting him and then taking weak damage from his basic attacks. And then hopefully my other two pets can 1v2. Problem with that strategy is... Oh, and he's playing... he's playing Kovok. Okay. So I'm assuming he'll start with Jennifer, right? Could start with Dibbler, but he's my better cleanup pet. I think I'll just start with the Kunchong. His team's a little better now. He has two beasts though, so I should win probably with Dibbler. Muck Slug's a little bit of a weak link versus two beasts, though. I have to be careful about that. Kunchong and Kovok are good pets for punishing players that like to swap a lot because they have a hard-hitting dot and pheromones. I think Kovok's the king because he has Black Claw, so if they swap out with Black Claw and Poison Fang and you throw up pheromones, they're just going to melt on the back line. I'll go for pheromones early. And he'll probably go for a feed here. Let's go for Puncture Wound. We should have a beast racial, so it'll pretty much one-shot him. I think the smart move is for him to stay in until his cat dies. He made that same mistake last time. He swapped him out and just died on the back line, which is very helpful. I guess I'll bring in the Muck Slug, save Dibbler, because he's my strongest cleanup pet. I want to go for Quicksand right away so that I can outspeed Anomalous. Then we'll just go for a Slime before he gets out of Poison Protocol. And I love Kovok, but I don't think he's about a 1v2 here. We'll see though. I just have to hit him twice with Dibbler. So he's in a rough spot. At this point, I think he dies to a drill charge. So I'll just stand on my Muck Slug until he dies. Actually, I think Muck Slug's got this in the bag. He's got a beast racial, so I'm gonna die here, but I can kill him first. Okay, maybe I'll play Dibbler again. I doubt he'll play double beasts, but if he does, then Dibbler would be a great option. And then I do like the Blazehound a lot versus Anomalous. Storm Infused Snapdragon. He's a decent pet to kind of bring him together, because he covers my weaknesses to elementals. Let's play this team. Play another team with Dibbler. Mr. Delver would also be a good pet versus him. He's great versus Anomalous, and he's running two beasts, so pretty much any team with Mr. Delver should be like a free win versus what he's queuing right now. He doesn't tend to play the same team over and over again unless it's winning. He tends to start upgrading his team once he's facing real competition. I like playing versus that guy, but he's the guy who he tends to play a lot of the same a lot of pets with the same speed, which is my main criticism of his team building. I mean, sometimes there's just good combinations that happen to have two pets that are both like say 325. But his go-to strategy for beating me is just to start playing faster and faster and faster pets to try to win the speed game. And he doesn't really care if he's playing like say three pets that are all 341 speed, or two pets that are 341, and then one that's like 325 with a flying racial. All he really cares about is just winning the speed matchup. But he tends to play like not the most brokenly overpowered pets, which I like about him. This is not him. This is somebody else. Pretty sure. Got triple darkness. My poor Snapdragon's just gonna not have fun here. I think what I'll do is I'll start with the Blazehound. If he starts with that flyer, he'll theoretically miss his Nocturnal Strike versus me. So let's go for a Magma Trap. See if we can take out his flying racial here. This is a tough team. I don't know if I can beat him. I can swap out his Bone Serpent, which will bring the Scourged Whelpling in. I guess I may as well. Free damage, 138. Take those. I want to save my Blazehound versus the Gilnean Raven. Kind of. I'm slower than him even after I lose my flying racial. Don't know. I'll bring in Snapdragon. And the trap went off, so that's good. Let's go for Call Lightning. So that he can't hit me with Nocturnal Strike. Oh, nice crit. Wait, this is looking good. Huge crit. I definitely don't think he should have run right there. He easily could have still won, but Triple Darkness is tough to beat. I'll take the RNG win. If he re-queues, I'll play an anti-darkness team. Probably the best one I have is this one. So in case I get a rematch, I'll try this one out. It beats... This is kind of designed to beat, like, say, triple power Darkness Nocturnal Strike birds. Because I have the Elemental to avoid Nocturnal Strikes. I have the Decoy, because they usually don't have a Decoy Breaker. And if they do, it's the Bone Serpent, which is why I have the Alpine Foxling. Because the Alpine Foxling's probably the best pet for countering the Bone Serpent that I can think of anyways. Alright, so this should be a much easier matchup for me. He started with his flyer, so I'm going to start with my Living Sandling. Ah, what if he goes for Liftoff? And I'll be sad. So if he goes for Liftoff... I don't want to play mind games. I'm going to bring in my Alpine Foxling. Yeah, he went for Bone Barrage. Alright, let's go for Crouch. Oh, he has Death and Decay. How weird. Okay, let's go for a Flurry. His Raven will be faster than me, even with Dazzling Dance, so it's really not worth trying to fight his Raven with my Alpine Foxling. Although I do have Crouch up. I don't think I need to worry about Dazzling Dance versus this player. I think I just need to try to pick good matchups. Alright, so he missed his Alpha Strike. I was hoping that was a Nocturnal Strike. That would have been awesome. But it's okay. We'll go for Sandstorm Fur. Yeah, is Quicksand enough to take his flying racial, actually? 720. Let's just send Sandstorm to guarantee that we take the flying racial. He went for that Nocturnal Strike. That was greedy. Maybe he didn't realize I'm an elemental. I'll probably leave after that. 2 misses in a row. No. He still thinks he can win. The MPD isn't great versus 2 undeads. Irrelevant crit, kind of. In a way, that crit was actually bad for me because I would be faster than him after the sandstorm, or after the quicksand. I would, let's see here. I would attack, and basically my sandstorm comes back a turn later effectively because I got that crit. So it's kind of bad, but oh well. I think I'm fine. Not the best time for a crit, though. It's the long story short. Do I save my living sandling for later? I think I'll just sacrifice him here for the free swap to my Alpine Foxling. I'm hoping my MPD can clean up here at the end. I have my Beast Racial, but I'm super low HP. I don't know if it's worth going for Crouch. I think it's barely worth it to go for Crouch here. I mean, I'm effectively giving myself 800 HP. Got a double. Really like to land a triple with my Beast Racial. Oh, yeah, a miss. Great. Okay. Still might be winnable. It's hard to say. The problem is my MPD does weak damage to undeads, and he has 2 undeads. So I definitely want to go for Thunderbolt first. And I missed his Scourge Whelpling again. Not good. Do I go for Decoy instantly? I think what I have to do to win this is, like, predict when he goes for Darkness and block it. Otherwise, I think I surely lose. I've missed a lot. It should not be this close. But I had a unlucky crit. He's making a lot of weird swaps, though, which is costing him. If he just stood his ground and just took advantage of his undead racials, it'd be an easy win for him because of all these misses. He might still be able to force a draw here. All he needs is to, like, high roll a Shadow Flame on my mechanical racial. The respectful thing is for him to let me have the win, because at this point, neither of us win if he forces a draw. Alright, I see what kind of player you are. We won because his Bone Barrage missed. But that didn't go as well as it should have. The big problem is I have an MPD and he has 2 undeads. I think my team should beat him the majority of the time, but that was a lot closer than I would have liked. He could have forced a draw there if he had good RNG. I think the Alpine Foxling's a good pick, and so is the Living Sandling. The MPD is just not really helping me out versus the Bone Serpent. I could see the Vengeful Porcupet maybe even being a little better than the Alpine Foxling versus that guy. I'm not seeing any teams that look fantastic, though. So we have anti-bone serpents. I mean, that team will beat him, but it's not a very well-rounded team. So if I just queue into like one humanoid, I auto lose. If I wanted to guarantee win versus this team, pretty sure this team will do the trick. The only problem is that flyer is going to be pretty good versus these two pets. Maybe I just play like the Alpine Foxling with an elemental of some sort. And then something else that isn't. An MPD. So I could play my own Darkness team. Nightshade Sproutling is okay versus his flyer. I think this team will win, but it won't be that much better than the last team I just played. Tiny Snowman, Stone Grinder. This team might actually beat him. And it's not as try-hard. I'm noticing that he's doing a lot of swapping, so that's why I kind of like the Stone Grinder. It's because I can bleed him, and I do strong damage to his flyer. So far, I'm kind of liking this team the best of any of the teams I'm seeing with the Alpine Foxling. The other one would be the Nightshade and the Bone Serpent. I'd rather beat him without using his own weather. At this point, I'm probably not going to get him, but if I do, I think this team is a pretty decent option. Let me see if I can find anything else that looks promising. Graves is not a great idea versus Triple Darkness. Anomalous is not a bad option versus Darkness, actually, but I don't think this team will beat him consistently, at least. This team is Triple Sandstorm, so it'll probably win. I'd rather not play Triple Sandstorm. And then these teams are designed to, like, troll idols, which I'm not queuing into right now. So far, I think this is my best bet. I didn't notice anything with the Vengeful Porcupet that looked super promising, but I guess I could look one more time. Vengeful Porcupet. I think the best looking team is this one right here with the MPD and the Blazehound. And we just saw how the MPD doesn't really do fantastic versus two undeads. I don't know. Maybe I'm like underestimating how well this team would do because I have like that I had really bad RNG that last game. Like my one crit actually hurt me, and then I had two really sketchy misses. And he missed like one ability at the very end that barely gave me the win with like 9 HP or something. But I don't think that it would have been anywhere near that close if I didn't miss as much. Because, like, one of my misses was, first of all, I got a double with a flurry, and then the next one was going to be, I mean, potentially up to like 700 damage. Like, right here. So I get a double with flurry, I miss with a beast racial versus undead. So if that had been a triple instead of a miss, that could be like 7 to 800 damage, which is a huge swing from just 110% RNG. And then I get another double. So imagine if I like landed triples here instead of two doubles and a miss. Like that's not just putting me behind by one turn. That's putting me behind like the equivalent of 3 turns just to pure RNG. I'll play this team because if I get him, I think it has a decent chance to beat him. If it doesn't beat him, I think I'll try the Vengeful Porcupet. So far, I'm thinking the best team is probably this one. Because the Blazehound is good versus Nocturnal Strike Flyers, at least in theory. MPD's generally good versus Darkness Pets, but he has a Bone Serpent, which is the one Darkness Pet that gives MPDs trouble. Just because of Bone Barrage passively breaking Decoy. See what we get. LG if I win this next one, because it'll be 5 games. Uh-oh. Not a good matchup for me, I don't think. Who do I start with? Probably, I don't know. I guess Alpine Foxling. I definitely want Dazzling Dance at some point. Do I go for Crouch? He's probably going to go for Toxic Fumes, right? So that seems like a decent option. Does he have... he has the PS, dang it. If he had the HP, I think my Alpine Foxling would be faster than him with Dazzling Dance. I need to Dazzling Dance as late as possible, because his team is very fast. So once my Dazzling Dance expires, I lose. He'll probably swap here. But if he doesn't, I can maybe win. Okay, big throw. Alright, do I go for Dazzling Dance? No, we go for Flurry. He could have saved his Anomalous for later, to eat like a deep freeze. So let's go for Dazzling Dance. We have to now. He could have just went for the Puncture Wound and killed me. That's another big throw. This guy's not really playing to his win con. Alright, so he's going to one-shot somebody. I guess it has to be the Stone Grinder for me to have a chance here. I think I still lose. Doesn't really matter what I press as long as he presses Puncture Wound. I'm trying to think what he might possibly do besides that. Let's just go for Thunderbolt. And, okay, so my Stone Grinder's dead. He has no abilities left, though, so... Let's go for Call Blizzard. Still have 6 rounds of Dazzling Dance. But his Indigo's full HP. Big throw there for him to swap. He should have stayed in until his Root Stinger died. Oh, and he's still faster than me? That's disgusting. I didn't realize he was still faster than me. He played so bad. Still wins. That team is just disgustingly overpowered. I could beat it, but he'll probably dodge after that. In case he doesn't, here we go. Play this team. This team will beat him pretty much no matter what he does, if I play correctly. So first of all, when you're playing that team, you should almost always start with your flyer. You'll get way more AoE damage out that way. I mean, it's not a script. You don't always start with a Gorm Root Stinger, but versus my team, he should have started with his flyer, thrown out his AoE, then swapped to Anomalous, and thrown up his big cooldowns. Also, when I was on my Alpine Foxling versus Anomalous, since he started with Anomalous, he should have thrown up his cooldowns and then swapped and saved Anomalous for later. That would have put him way farther ahead. But, I mean, his team's just so OP. There's very little I can do to beat him with a team like what I was playing. The only thing I can think I could have maybe done differently to give myself a slightly better chance is maybe start with the Stone Grinder. And then that way, if he starts with his Flyer, I can at least do strong damage to him. Maybe take his Racial with a Thunderbolt. And I guess if he starts with Anomalous, it's not terrible. What else could I do? Stone Grinder's a little faster than my Snowman, so maybe with Dazzling Dance I can outspeed Indigo. That's just not a good matchup versus the Indigo team. Alright. Revenge time. My team's very scripted, but it's basically guaranteed to beat him. What you want to do is you want to attack once, throw up your Cyclone, and then throw up Temporal Anomaly. No matter how good his RNG is, I should survive to get out that combo, and then these two should be able to 2v3 at the afterwards. So we go for Cyclone. You could go for a Second Breath, and if he doesn't get any crits, that'll actually put you slightly farther ahead, but you shouldn't have to. It's very greedy too, because if he gets one crit, you won't get out your Temporal Anomaly. And you'll just auto lose from there, because you need that Temporal Anomaly. It's possible what I could do instead of running Temporal Anomaly is hopefully he kills me here. Uh-oh, he swapped. I should have just manually swapped to my Jade Mist Dancer. But I died a dot, so it's fine. So we bring in our Jade Mist Dancer. We have our 3 rounds to buff Cyclone. We go for Rain Dance here. What I'm thinking is instead of depending on Temporal Anomaly and using this Time Loss element there, his stats are very intentional. I have a pet that's going to be just faster than Indigo with Temporal Anomaly, and then benefits from Acid Rain with his basic attacks, and then has abilities that are like great versus dodge and kick, right? Yeah, he was dead. What might work a little better than... I mean, clearly that worked fine. It felt a little bit sketchy, but it should win as far as I can tell, like 99% of the time versus that team. What I might try is maybe running a different Cyclone pet and then a pet with like, I don't know, Surge, so maybe like Snarly or something in the 3rd slot, or what else would be a good priority move pet? Something that isn't a critter, so not Zoom. What other... There aren't really any good pets with quick attack that I can think of. Actually, maybe this pet. I like his stats a lot. His stats are really good. This could be a decent option because he has a priority move. He has Bubble. The reason I like the Salamander versus Indigo is, let's say that he tries to fight me with Indigo and he throws up Dodge while I'm faster to try to waste my time and stall out my Dazzling Dance or my Temporal Anomaly, whichever I'm choosing to use versus him. In this case, Temporal Anomaly, because he knows once that Temporal Anomaly's gone, I lose. I can use my heal or my bubble to kind of match his dodge. It's definitely kind of memey to beat him with the Salamander. He's not a great pet. He just happens to be a good fit. So with Temporal Anomaly, the Salamander is going to be faster than Indigo. Plus I benefit from Acid Rain. It's my basic attack. I generally don't end up using these abilities. Bubble and Rewind Time, but they're nice to have, I guess, in case things don't go according to plan. Like, he could try to break the script. Maybe instead of going for... Well, first of all, he's just playing really bad. I don't know why. So this team should... The game should be a bit closer than that. I'm not even having to use my Salamander, and it's because he keeps starting with Anomalous instead of the Gorm Root Stinger. Like I said before, he should start with the Root Stinger, throw up his Great Sting, and then swap to Anomalous, and use Toxic Fumes, and then what's it called? Poison Protocol. Like 9 times out of 10, that's the better strategy. I guess if I'm on my dragon, it might be risky for him to do that, because if I just spam basic attacks, then yeah, I can kill Anomalous before he gets out Nah, I think it's still worth it, because the way it would have to play out is I would have to use my Temporal Anomaly on round 1, and then start spamming basic attacks, which is doing nothing to his backline. And generally the way I'll play it is I'll go for Breath on round 1, Cyclone round 2, Temporal Anomaly on round 3, and then either let my Infinite Hatchling die for the free swap, or just manually swap into the Jade Mist Dancer if I have to start the Clone Dance. And if I'm doing that, he's going to be able to get out Great Sting, Toxic Fumes, and Poison Protocol. And then a second Great Sting for maximum cleave damage. Plus he can always just one-shot my Jade Mist Dancer with Puncture Wound. Maybe I should try to come up with other teams that counter that team. Because the problem with this team is it's very easy to counter this team. Like, if I queue up right now, I can promise you there's a 9 out of 10 chance there's this same player playing, like, triple Sandstorm. Because he knows this team has no chance versus pretty much even just one Sandstorm pet, much less 3. So it'd be cool if I could come up with a team that counters this team that's a little more well-rounded versus other, like, other tier teams. But a lot of Sandstorm teams just actually lose. Like, for example, if he plays correctly and I play correctly, this Sandstorm team generally loses to this team. If he starts with the Gorm Root Stinger and then uses Toxic Fumes, not as a give myself 3 rounds of Poison Protocol, but as a change the weather back from Sandstorm to not Sandstorm, in this case Toxic Gas, just so that my dots can tick for the entire team. And then Indigo just does strong damage to the Gleamhoof Fawn, so he pretty much like 2-shots you with Horn Gores. So as strong as this team is, it will almost always lose to this team, even if he doesn't play that well, and especially if he plays like correctly. What really makes this team like extra difficult to counter is Anomalous's high attack power. It's almost like a gimmick team, because the Gorm Root Stinger isn't that overpowered without Anomalous to throw up Toxic Fumes. Like, yeah, you can do like 1300 damage with Puncture Wound, but you have to set up your Great Sting, you have to set up your Enrage, you take extra damage while you're pressing Enrage. By the time you get to Puncture Wound, it's 3 rounds in, and if you're fighting a sandstorm team and you don't have toxic fumes to change the weather back, it's really not that effective. It's a little bit of a gimmick. But because Anomalus's attack power is so high, even if you try to counter this team with like most sandstorm teams, it's still too much AoE damage for even sandstorm to deal with. At least most typical sandstorm teams. Maybe I can come up with like, I haven't tried, say, Tremblor versus him. Trying to think what else might be a decent sandstorm pet versus his team. Like maybe it is a really strong team. It's hard to counter it. If you know a good team to counter it, let me know in the comments. I'll try it out. That last team will beat it consistently, but it's kind of fighting a gimmick with a gimmick. But yeah, anyways, that's 5 wins. I'm gonna call it for there. And yeah, if you can think of a good counter team, I'll try it out next time I queue into this team because I see it a lot since it's very efficient for getting wins. Like he beat me in 8 turns. I mean, I think it would have taken him 10 to kill me, but yeah. It generally only takes like 11 or 12 turns max to just completely sweep an entire team with this team just because it does so much cleave damage with Poison Protocol and Great Sting and combined with Enrage and Toxic Fumes. It's a deadly combo. So, let me know your ideas. I'll try them out, and I'll see y'all in the next one.